David, I think I'm struggling to get hear you.
Yeah, so I was trying to say that is it was left with group six to present. So I'm asking if maybe they can present it today,
Okay.
or we should go ahead and then start with group two, group three, five, and seven.
Okay. So I think we should start with today's presentation. When we are done, then Group Six can present.
Okay, sure. And then we can start with group two.
All right.
So you
All
can
right.
share
That's
your
that's
screen.
fine.
So group two, you can share your screen and then begin your presentation.
Oh, Robbie, please go ahead and share the screen. Good morning. Yes.
Good morning.
Okay, good morning, everyone. I trust you are well. I'm Angelina representing for Group 2, and Robert is sharing the screen. So, on today's presentation, our topic is on image types and compression in mobile application. Please, I hope I'm audible. Can you all hear me?
Yes,
We can hear you.
Okay, thank you. So, on assignment 3, we are talking about storyboarding. And we have our project title. We have our scenario, which is Momo Safety Alert. And then our lecturer is Julius. Please forgive me. I'm not an English. I'm unable to pronounce the name, but I should try. Zeho. I don't know if I got it right. Please forgive me for butchering your name. Robert, please, let's go ahead.
That's fine. That's a good try.
Thank you. So these are our group members with our index number. Please, should I mention it or we can skip it, sir?
So you can skip this.
Okay, thank you. So for our outline, we have our introduction, which we have our overview of the project and its purpose. We have 3-frame scripts. That's a short description of each scene in the storyboard. Real life storyboard. We have photographs representing in 3 scenes. AI generated storyboard, which is AI generated image of the same scenes. We have our comparison, which analysis of the advantages and limitations of AI versions, there's real world images. And then we have our conclusion, which talk about the summary of key findings and overall evaluation. Robert, please go to the next slide. So for our introduction, our project seems to focus on creating 3-frame storyboarding to illustrate a digital service within a Ghanaian context, specifically mobile money safety. Storyboarding is an important tool in multimedia design that helps visualize ideas and communicate images clearly. In this assignment, both real-world images and AI-generated visuals are used to represent the same scenarios. This allows the comparison between traditional and modern methods of content creating, highlighting AI highlighting how AI can support creativity whilst also examining its limitation in representing real life situations. So the introductions is going to talk about the reality, the advantages and everything for the AI generated, and then the real life images as well. Please, let's go on to the next slide. So for our scripting, we have 3 scripts. So for our first frame, we have the wild shot, which is Akosia receives a suspicious Momo transaction call while shopping at the market. And for the second frame, we have the close-up, which she refuses to share her PIN and reports the fraudulent number via 170. For frame 3, we have medium shots, which Akosia confidently completes her Momo payment and walks away safely. Robert, please, let's show the video for this.
Can you see my screen, please?
Yes,
Yes.
your screen.
Yes, we can see.
Okay, so I'm about to play the video.
What do you mean stolen? I don't understand. But I paid yesterday.
So this is the video.
Okay, thank you. Can we go back to the presentation?
So was that the AI generated video?
Yes, please. This was AI generated video.
Alright, that's fine.
So that's for the script, the 3 frame scripts. And then we come to the real world storyboarding. So as you can see with the image for frame 1, frame 2, and then frame 3, when you compare the first video to this one, the characters and everything, you can see there's a bit different from the real world story. So we have the same content, suspicious Momo call from the market, refusing to enter her PIN and report the number, and then transact Momo, that is, complete her Momo payment. So can we go to the next one? Okay, so Robert.
I mean, that image is not showing. I don't know. I want to reinsert it again.
Okay, sure, that's fine. So please pardon us, we are trying to fix things so we can show them.
That's fine. Technical glitches.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Please, can you see?
Yes.
Oh,
We are off again.
can you see now?
Yes, it's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
You can see our screen.
Yes, it's very clear.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so this is for the AI generated storyboard, which earlier on we saw the video for that. So we have our frame 1, our frame 2 picture, and then the third one as well. when you compare the raw pictures with the AI generated video, you can see the slight difference in there from both images. Please, can we move to the next one?
Okay, so the images on this screen are AI generated images.
Yes, please. This is AI generated.
So what tool did you use?
Please come again.
What tool did you use for the generation?
Sir, please, we didn't get you, please.
So I'm asking the tool you used for generating the storyboard image.
Flow AI, please.
Flow AI. Okay, that's fine.
Okay, perfect. Let's move to the next slide. So for the AI prompts, which we saw earlier from the video, we have our first prompts, which show the Ghanaian woman busily in the market who received the Sorry about that. So we have our first prompt, which we saw the video earlier on, which we saw a Ghanaian woman busily in the market who received a suspicious Momo call. And then we saw from which the video continued to our second prompt, which for the close-up of the smartphone in the woman's hand that is rejecting the call and then reporting the fraudulent person who called her. And then in our third prompt, we see the Ghanaian woman wasn't making payments successfully from the shop, which was so happy. So even though the video was AI generated, it's also giving us a lesson here that when you receive a suspicious call, please do not follow and then become a victim for the Momo fraud. Please, let's go on to the next one. So for our comparison task, we have AI, that is the advantages of using AI to generate a storyboard, the advantages of it. So you can create the images, the actors, you can edit, you can do everything. That is very, very easy. But then you're not going to get the realistic of the video. I mean the background, the aesthetics of the video. You're not going to get it being realistic compared to the real world images where you would have to travel to locations, you have to cast for your actors, you have to have your lighting, your directors, your scripts, makeup, costume, everything on board. So you can tell that for the real life, it entails a lot. You need to put in a lot of resources to get even for a first scene or a second scene. Unlike the AI generated images or videos, which you just need to get your prompt correctly to get whatever you want. But then it's not going to give you the realistic, like you're not going to have, I don't know, that feeling of when you're watching a real life compared to an AI. You're not going to get that one. Please, let's move to the next one. So in conclusion, our project demonstrates the importance of storytelling, communicating digital safety practice within the Ghanaian context. By comparing real world and AI generated storyboards, it is clear that both approaches have their strengths. While AI improves speech and flexibility in creating visuals, real world images provide authenticity and culturally relevance. So you can tell that from the AI, it may not give you the authentic how you want it, the cultural you're not going to get it how you're compared to the real life, but it is quite easier to get it. Unlike the real world, which you have to put in a lot of resources to get what you want. Overall, combining both methods can enhance creativity and effectiveness in multimedia design, especially when addressing practical issues like mobile money safety. This is where we end our presentation. So we are open for questions. Thank you.
I'll give you 20.
Okay, that was a very good
Hello, sir.
presentation. Do you have any questions for them? So they're very good presentation. Do you have any questions for them?
Hello.
Yes, so do you have questions for them?
Please, if you have any questions, we can ask.
Yes, other groups, do you have questions for them? Okay, so from your presentation and your conclusion, you suggest that we should look at blending the two methods. Okay, that is the AI and then the real world
Davis,
storyboarding.
please,
We should
is
look at
our lecture on call?
Yes, I think that's the lecture.
Okay, okay.
Yes, I think I'm audible now. Yes, so I was asking if there are questions for you. Please, do we have questions for them? Okay, so I think per your conclusion, you were concluding that, or you were suggesting that blending the two methods enhances the video or enhances the story you are telling with the use of AI and then real world storyboarding. I think that's your conclusion, overall conclusion. Yeah, hello.
Yes, please. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, that's fine. So, which of the tools did you use to generate the video? Did you still use Flow AI as well?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. And let me see your real world photos that you took. Let me see the real world images for the storyboarding.
Okay.
Okay. So, the group, does this look like a real world photo?
Yes, sir. As compared to the other one, this one looks more realistic
Okay.
than the other one.
It looks more realistic. That's very
Yes, sir.
fine. That's very
Yes,
fine.
sir.
So, which of the storyboarding tools did you use? Group. Yeah, so
Please, can
except
you come
Flow
again?
AI, which other tool did you use? Yeah, so I was asking, which of the storyboarding tools did you use?
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
I didn't get that. Yes, I'm with you.
Yeah, so with the AI storyboarding pictures,
Yeah.
we generated the prompts from
Okay.
Cloud AI.
Okay.
Yes. And then we we used the prompt generated from Cloud AI, and then we sent it to Flow AI, and then it gave us the AI generated images.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
All right. So I only saw a video of the AI video. Were you able to create the real world video as well?
No, please. Unfortunately, we had a bit issues working on the real world video, so we couldn't generate that, but we were able to
Okay.
generate for the AI. Please pardon us.
All right. All right. That's fine. But you're able to take the real world images. Okay. So what's the name of the lady in the picture?
That's our question.
That's Akosia.
Yes, sir. That's
I think
Akosia.
that's a market. Which of the markets?
Oh,
This one here is to do.
Yeah,
It's
Charlie.
that's TV.
Agbogboloshe market.
Somebody is saying to do, somebody is saying Agbokulushi.
At this point, it's Agbogboloshe market.
This is Agbokulushi. So when we
Yes,
go to Agbokulushi, I'll see Akosia at Agbokulushi.
yes, please. She's
Yes,
right.
please.
Yes, that she's even the first woman you see.
Wow. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So, how were you able to convince her to take part in your project?
We explained everything to her for her to understand, and she said she will.
Okay. Okay, so you should seek her consent. Okay,
Yes.
all right, that's fine. Yeah, that's very good presentation, and I like the clarity of your photos, the AI generated video. So this is basically how you can use still images to create stories. And most of the organizations realize that they tune this path to be able to create some stories or to create some storyboards, and then from there they create stories into videos for us to be able to what get the concept that is being said or being explained. And this is how adverts also come in place for most of the organizations. Okay, so thank you very much. Since there are no questions for them, I think I'll dispatch them and then we'll have the next group.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you too. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Group 3. So group 3, if you're ready, you can share your screen.
Hello, please, can you all hear me? Hello.
Yes, please.
Yes.
So is my screen visible to you guys, please?
Yes.
Okay, so
It's
my name is
visible.
Ben, and then my name is Ben, and then I'll be the presenter for Group 3. Okay, so based on the group project that was given to us, we also decided to work on the normal safety alert.
Please share your slide, but your slide is not showing the PowerPoint. They're
My
just
slide is
showing
not
the
showing.
PowerPoint.
Sorry,
Yes, please.
Yeah, so we don't have
Yes,
your
please.
presentation. We don't have
it's
your
not showing.
presentation.
Yes, please.
Like my screen is not showing.
Your screen is on, but the file that you are showing right now, just a group of files. So your presentation is not active on the screen. So if maybe you can open your to share it.
So let me stop sharing and then go do it again, redo it again. Is it visible now?
Yeah.
It is
Yes, please.
visible.
Visible.
Yeah.
Okay, so as I said earlier, my name is Ben, and then I'll be taking you through our presentation. So based on what we give us, we also chose the Momo Safety Alert to also work on. So I will start
Okay, so
by
Ben,
this.
why did you choose the Momo Safety Alert? Why did your
Okay,
group choose the
so
Momo Safety Alert?
we chose that purposely for convenience, and then where we can get easily get the settings and based on what we met as a group and then discuss. So for convenience, that is where the settings
Okay.
come in, where it was very close to us that we can easily work on.
All right, that's fine. That's fine.
So please, do I need to introduce my group members?
So you can skip that particular slide and let's continue.
Okay, all right. So the assignment overview, that is the course, we have the task and then the scenario. So the task was to create a 3-frame storyboard, real world plus AI version. And then the scenario was scenario A, that is Momo safety alert. So the requirement for us was to present on a 3-frame script. That's 1 sentence per frame. A real world storyboard, 3 photos taken on location, and then AI generated story. That's also 3 frames using AI generated too. And then we write up a comparison of that should comprises between 80 to 120 words. So we'll dive into it right now. So this is like the script, like what to expect from us. So on frame 1, you will see a woman shopping at a supermarket, like a mall. We chose a mall, actually a Malcolm mall, because in a question, it stated that we can either use a market or a mall. So we chose a mall because that was what was close to us and we decided to work on. So a woman shopping at a supermarket received a suspicious call claiming she sent a wrong Momo transaction. So on the frame 2, we'll be seeing a close range of a picture taken of a Momo screen indicating no record found. She reported the actual number as fraud and they decided not to enter her PIN. And then the third one, you'll be seeing, sorry, you're seeing she avoided the scam, confidently complete her payment, and then she continues her shopping. So from the requirement, the first frame, as stated in the requirement, you see a suspicious call received from a Momo. And this is basically, you can determine this by looking at the expressions from the face of the lady inside the picture from the frame 1. And then in the frame 2, I don't know if I'm allowed to zoom in this for you to actually see what is actually happening here. So please, can you see my screen? Is this visible?
So yes, it's visible. So you can zoom in and then give your explanation.
Okay, so if you can see, you see around transaction alert, you have received an amount, I think 5,600 from this number, and then it's a wrong task. So you can see her thumb on report number, indicating that she's actually declining the fraud, the Momo fraud. And then the third one is after she's done. Sorry. Okay, so the third one is after she's done completing her Momo payment, she happily leave the premises. That is the more. So this is the assumption, the scripts that we brought about from the frame 1. You can see a woman standing in a supermarket holding a phone close to her ear, receiving a Momo alert as she receives a suspicious transaction suggesting it's a possible scam. Then the frame 2 checks a Momo transaction history, finding no record of such transaction, reports the number to the Momo fraud line without entering her PIN. And then from the third one, you see the scam avoided. She confidently completes her Momo payment and then Momo payment safely and then leave the premises. So this is the section of the AI generated too. So I think in the question where asked to, I think some examples of AI too were listed in there for us to use, but we tried other ones too, and then we decided to use a particular one which is different from what was stated in the question.
Okay, so which one did you use and why?
This one because this one gave us the range at which we were looking for, and then the pictures were very sharp, and then it was colorful. The view was very good. Because others were giving us a very shady pictures and stuff like that. So we decided to stick on this one. The AI we used was, I think, Gemini. Yeah.
You think you think Gemini?
That's what we use. Sorry, that's what we use.
Oh, okay, I thought you were thinking. All right, that's fine.
That's what we use, Gemini. So but we use the same concept for the AI for the real world too. The AI version, we use the same concept as we use in the real world as well. So in the first frame, the first image, you can see an image of a suspicious call received by from a Momo fraud. So, and the second one is the AI generated phone screen. So I would want to zoom in this one to see the difference in the real world captured image, and then this one as well. So this one you can see a mobile money fraud, scam alert, suspicious transaction, and all that, which shows the difference between the actual Momo thing happening and then the AI generated version. The third one is, sorry, she successfully made payment and then she leaves the premises. So these are the script, what we actually brought to them before we generated the AI version. So a woman standing, I think it's no different from the real world because we use the same concept. So I don't know if I'm allowed to skip this side too.
Okay, so how did you come up with your scripts?
The script, okay, we start and then decide, okay, what are some of the possible ways we can stuff like this can happen, because we needed it's like a whole production, something, a storyline. So we need to come up with a story, how we can, an idea of how the whole thing happened, because normally when before you get a Momo stuff, it's either you receive a message first, or the person will try to call you, because we've all, maybe one of us, not all, but some of us has experienced this Momo fraud thing before. Even me, I have experienced it before. So a call came through, I picked it. So we use that as a scenario to generate the whole script.
Okay.
So am I allowed to skip this side, or I can still read through for?
You can skip
Because the
this.
idea is the same as the real world. We use the same concept for the AI prompt too.
You can skip this. So skip and let's move.
So there's the comparison right up. So we will have the AI, the advantages of the AI, the limitations of the AI, and then a better version, and why. So when it comes to the advantages of the AI too can instantly generate highly detailed cinematic and then storyboard visuals without requiring a camera, a crew, or to travel to a specific location, saving significant time and then resources during pre-production. Then the limitations of the AI. Have the AI generated images struggle to accurately depict a specific cultural element, including the Malcolm style store, the tradition textile patterns, and then the MTN Momo interface. This is because it lacks training data set. This is because training data set lacks sufficient localized examples. Then the beta version, the real world version, better represents the idea, captures the genuine Ghanaian settings, faces, and cultural element that resonate authentically with local audience, making the Momo safety message more relatable and then credible. So the next one is we have the merit of the real world and then the merit, and then likewise the merit of the AI and then the merit of the AI as well. So I'll start with the merit of the real world. So the first one is authentic Ghanaian settings, and then the second one is real people, and then actual, and then the third one is credible to local audience. The fourth one will be show actual Momo app interface as compared to the AI based on what we saw in the display initially. So the demerit will be require camera, location, and then actors, and then it's time consuming as well. So when we come to the advantages of the AI, fast generated in seconds, no camera or crew needed, cinematic polish and polish visual. Then we have easy iterate and then adjust. It's easy to iterate and then adjust, like to make amends to it. Then we have demerit, that is the disadvantage, which is may miss local cultural details and then generic Ghanaian presentation. So key takeaways. Some of the advices we take away from this, what we actually just saw. So Momo fraud is real. Never reverse a transaction or share Momo pin with strangers or anyone. Always check your Momo history before taking any action on suspicious calls. Next is AI is a very powerful storyboard to fast, cost effective, but less ultra authentic. The last one will be a real world image carries authentic content that resonates with the local Ghanaians. So thank you, and then this is the end of our presentation.
Okay, so that is good. Do you have any questions for them? Do you have any questions for them? So your suggestion is that we should go with real world rather than using AI. Is that your suggestion?
Yes. Okay, so if that is based on the real world is okay because it will give you the clarity of what you're actually looking for. But in our local Ghanaian settings, I don't think the AI have enough database to give us the actual cultural element we have. Like it's not that it might give you, but it's not that data as compared to using actual cameras to capture the actual Ghanaian settings, like how things happen here.
Okay, so you are looking at the cultural elements.
Exactly.
All
As
right.
a Ghanaian, based on what we presented on.
All right, that's okay.
So, for example, the Momo app interfaces that shows, we had the actual one that we use here, and the AI generated version was a bit different from what we actually experience or what we are using our Momo apps or the actual numbers to make Momo transactions.
Okay, all right. Please, do you have questions for? Yes, any questions for them?
I have a question. Please,
Okay, go ahead.
how does your storyboard show the relationship between technology use and human judgment? How will we be able to tell through human judgment that it's a fraud picture? I don't know if you get my question.
I don't get it.
How does your storyboard, how does it show the relationship between technology use and human judgment? Do you get it now?
Okay, so I don't know if I get your question, but any of my colleagues is open to the question and they can answer. But I don't know if I get what I can use the
Benjamin, let me. Are you talking about the real world or you are talking about the AI generated?
Exactly. The relationship between the AI generated and the real world. If not for the AI generated, how are we able to judge as human?
Judge what exactly?
Judge from Momo fraud alert.
like you mean
Benjamin,
how are you able to determine
can you
if
go up to
the
the
AI
storyboard?
displays? You mean how is the AI able to determine if I don't know if I get a question.
I'm
How
also
are we able
struggling
to
to get your question.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm trying
struggling
to
to get the
understand it.
question.
You mean how are we able to determine if the AI, based on what we represented, depicts whether the presentation was related to the Momo fraud? I don't know if I get it right.
What I mean is, I want to know how the storyboard, the relationship that the storyboard tells. If we don't use technology, how are we able to use human? How are we human able to judge if it's a fraud?
Ah,
Hello.
how are
Yes.
we able to tell if it's a fraud?
What you
Sometimes
saying?
you'll be there, you receive a suspicious call from an unknown number claiming, have you received this number, an amount of money on your phone, and mistakenly sent and stuff like that. Which you determine by yourself if it's a fraud because you will check and then you've not received anything. Sometimes you go to your Momo history and be like, oh no, I've not received this amount. That is how you're able to tell that, okay, this is either fraud or it's not fraud. I don't know if that answers your question.
Probably his question is based on the fact that have you really communicated the idea to the audience? So when you watch this, have you communicated the idea of how Momo fraud and our safety in terms of being alert to prevent fraud? I think probably that would be his question. So the key indicators to identify Momo fraud, have you expressly
Exactly. Yes.
identified that? Have you showcased that? Yeah.
Yes. Yes, you are right. You put it in the right context.
My brother, is your question answered?
Because in the first one she received score that maybe might be a Momo fraud. Then it's based on the script.
Hello. Please, can I come in?
Yes, you can. You can come in.
Go ahead.
The question that he's asking, if you pay attention to the presentation in the section 2, you could see that first frame, the woman was furious, listening to what was being said to her. Meaning she was suspicious, the call was suspicious. And then in the frame 2, you could see there was a transaction in which she didn't enter her PIN, which was requesting for an amount of 5,600, which she refused. Per the indication and what happened in the picture and what he is asking, this will really show you is that someone was actually trying to fraud her to do some transaction for her, in which she refused. So in the second frame, you could see that she didn't accept or proceed to whatever the person wanted her to do. So upon declining with the last picture, you could see that she was happy that she couldn't proceed with whatever the person wanted her to do. But from what you are saying, or the question that you are asking, I feel like you wanted to see a video of it to prove how the things went,
Yes, yes. So let me also add a follow-up question. Where is your video? Why didn't you show us the video?
Hello, sir.
Yes. So where is your video? Why didn't we see your video?
You're asking why didn't you see a video?
Yes. So
Okay,
you have
so
each frame for each story, right? For the storyboard, you
exactly.
have each frame, yes, and each story. So now, where is the video? You didn't put the frames together. Do you get a question?
Yes.
Oh, there is no answer.
I'm not sure
Okay,
about that because we actually don't have a video for that.
presentation and the pictures and the frame to do it. That's why we didn't add a video to it.
Oh, okay, okay. So your focus was on bringing up each frame.
Exactly.
Yes,
Okay, all right. That's fine. That's okay. That's okay. And you use Gemini for all your AI generations.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. So how did you get your prompts?
Sorry.
How did you get your prompts?
So as I said earlier, it was based on the idea we came about. As an example
Okay.
is we use mine as an example, receiving a Momo fraud. Of course, the call will come through telling you blah blah blah. You need to do this, follow this, and this thing. So I think a number of us have experienced that. So we use that idea to actually generate the prompt.
Okay. All right. That's fine. All right. Yes. Any further questions for them? Okay. So if there are no questions, then I think you've done well. This group has done well. This is group
Three.
Group A. All right. So that was a good presentation, and then your idea was okay. Your conclusion was fine in terms of relating it to the cultural aspects with regards to the use of AI. I think your conclusion was okay. So let me have the next group.
So I cannot stop sharing my screen, right?
Yes, yes. So stop sharing and let's have the next group.
Thank you.
That's fine.
Please, can you see my screen?
Yes, please. It's visible.
All right.
Good morning, sir. Please, am I audible?
Yes,
Is
Rasa,
this
you can go ahead.
Mustafa? Who is
Yes.
speaking?
Mustafa is
Is
presenting.
Mustafa is speaking. Ebenezer is actually doing the presentation, the slides presentation. So I'll do the
Okay,
explain.
that is fine. So this is sorry. Let me get a group again.
This is group 5.
Group 5. Okay. All right. So let's go. But we can't see your presentation now. So
Eben, please move to the slides. Eben, are you sharing or I should share from my end?
Sorry, I shared. I thought you said you can see it.
We see your screen, but unable to see the slide.
Can you see now?
Yes, it's visible now. Thank you very much. So as we said earlier on, my name is Mustafa Razak, and today I'll be doing a presentation on behalf of Group 5. And Eben, please come down a bit. No, still on the first page. On the first page, it's not actually showing the entire screen, as in where the topic is.
Oh, okay.
It's okay. Let's go to the first one. The Group 5 assignment presentation. And then our course is Foundations of Multimedia. Our lecturer is Mr. Julius Xenyo. And then our program is BSc Information Technology, level 200, first semester. So our topic for today's presentation is storyboarding. Eben, kindly move to the. So can I mention the group members, or I can leave that for now? Then
please keep it. Please keep it.
Okay, thank you. So Eben, move to the next one. Okay, so this is our introduction. So with our introduction, we have 3 frames of the storyboarding that we'll be presenting today. And then when we say storyboarding, what actually does storyboarding mean? Storyboarding in short, please, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So storyboard in short is a visual plan of a story shown in pictures or in frame. And then to add to that, we can also say that it's a graphic organizer or a series of illustrations that is used to visualize a story or a film. Eben, please move to the next slide. Okay, so with our frames, we have 3 scriptures that we use. So that are in 3 sentences, 1 per frame. And then the first
You have 3
frame,
scriptures.
we have no, like I mean, in the scriptures, we have 3 sentences.
Okay.
Yes. So 1 per frame. So the first frame, and I want to read the sentence or the frames before we move to the pictures, where I'll compare the AI generated and then the natural generated. So with the first one, we have which is actually listed in the question that so in our first frame, we have a lady at Makola Rollins Park. She receives a suspicious wrong transaction call on her phone. Then the second frame, she refuses to share her PIN and reports the number using her mobile money app. And then the third frame, she safely completes her payments and leave the market feeling secure. So the main reason why we actually chose this topic was to give awareness on mobile money fraud. It is something that has been very, very rampant these days, and people fall victims to that. So the main reason why we chose that was to give awareness to people, because the illiteracy rate in Ghana is very high, and due to that, people fall victims to this mobile money fraud. And so with the first frame, we have an image showing a lady at a Makola market. And then, as I said earlier on, she receives a call, a suspicious call on a transaction, asking that a wrong transaction has been sent onto her phone. So this is the real world image. Eben, can you move to the next one? And then this is the AI generated frame. So with the real world and then the images, the AI generated images, you could see that on the real world, we had a natural environment. But with the AI, we have a depicted image or a depicted background. And then with the AI, the pictures looks much sharper. But with the natural, it appears everything natural. But with our AI generated, with the second picture with the AI generated, you could see that our dear sister looks more like, would I put it? The picture there looks very brightened. Yeah, Eben, can we move to the next one? Okay,
I don't get your concept where you say the picture looks very bright. I think I'm quite lost.
Eben, please go back to the first one, the natural one. So when you see the real world image, you see that the environment is very natural, and then the picture size too, as in like the picture we took, the size looks very natural, and the environment too looks natural. But with the AI, Eben, come to the AI. But with the AI, you see that unlike you taking a picture with your phone and then you leave it in a natural way, then you editing it using other maybe AI tools to make it looks more nicer. So you see with the AI,
Okay, so what you did was that you used the same real world photo,
yes,
and then you subjected it to AI. So you are using the same photo. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Now you can continue.
To the next one. Okay. So this is where she shows the alert of the fraudulent message that she had. And then Eben, can you please zoom out a bit? So with the amount that is requesting on the phone, I think it's a lot. So if she has this kind of amount on her phone and unfortunately she falls a victim to the mobile money fraud, it's going to be a great loss to her. And for instance, if she's a market woman, she sells things at the Makola market, and then she falls a victim to this kind of amount, it's going to be a great loss to her and a very frustrating one. So, Eben, okay, kindly zoom back. So sorry about that. So she refuses to share her PIN and reports the alert that she had through her mobile money app. Then let's go to the next one. So this is the real world image. Even kindly come back. Even move to the next one. The next one. We are done with this. Okay, so she safely completes her payments and leaves the market feeling secure. So this is a real world image showing her doing her transaction safely without being frauded. And then she leaves the market feeling happy. Even please move to the AI generated one. Okay, so this is the AI generated prompt showing that she completed her transaction successfully and then left the market safely. And then can we go to the next one? Okay, so this is a comparison task of the AI and then the natural images. So with a raw image, it reflects authentic Ghanaian environment. As I said earlier on, with the first picture we took with the real environment, it showed the entire environment of a Makola market where you see that this is actually market. Someone that knows Makola and then the specific location will actually tell that this is Makola market. But with the AI, however, they may lack perfect composition or clarity. But with the AI generated image, on the other hand, they appear more polished and visually structured with enhanced colors and balanced framing. They effectively represent the idea, but may also lack less natural or slightly unrealistic image. So as I said earlier on, with the real world, if someone knows Makola very well, the person will be able to tell that this is actually Makola and this is the location. But with the AI, because an editing is being done on it, the person might find a challenge, or the person might have a challenge trying to really tell if that place is really where he's talking about. And then the overall, AI helps speed up the storyboarding process and improves visual presentation, while real images provide strong cultural, authentic, and realism. Even let me see.
Okay, so in conclusion, what are you telling us to do? Should we choose a blend of AI and real world? Should go for real world and strictly AI? What's your final say as a group?
Can you come back to that?
Yeah, so I want your summary conclusion from yourself.
Okay. So with the presentation done so far, with the real world images, I think it gives a realistic image of whatever that has been presented. But with the AI, it gives a little bit confusing image as to what I presented.
What would you advise us to do when we are in storyboarding and production? Storyboarding before production. What would you advise us to do? Would you advise the use of a bit of AI, a bit of real world, or strictly real world, or strictly AI?
So, I'll advise both, because with strictly the real world gives you the opportunity to actually feel what you are doing. But AI, the reason why I'll say both is that AI also helps you to make the production faster. But with the real world, you have to put in the effort before the AI then helps you. Just like we are doing, if you are to do maybe an assignment and you don't generate it itself and you ask the AI to generate it, you might come out with maybe mistakes. But when you do it yourself and then you then give it to the AI to generate it, when it generates it and there are mistakes to it, you'll be able to tell. But if you just give it to the AI to generate it, the AI does it without you going over again. You might not see the mistakes that are in it. So I don't know if that your question.
Well, I'm not convinced. Anyway. Do we have questions for the group? Questions for the group? Questions for the group? Yes, any questions? Yes, any question? Hey, you don't have questions for them? Okay, Mustafa, well, that's a good one. And you've captured your story. So basically, that's about storyboarding. Okay. So you also don't have any video, right? You didn't go into production.
No, please, we didn't go into production.
Okay.
So the picture we
That's
actually
fine.
the real world is what we used to
Okay, that's okay. That's fine. That's fine. That was a good presentation. Okay. All right. So you can knock off and let me have the next group. Yes, the next group.
Hello, sir. This is group 6.
Group
So
this is
let's
group 6.
7 finish this one.
Group 6.
Yeah, so group 6 was how the plan goes. So let group 7 finish this one.
Okay.
We are finishing storyboarding before group 6 will present on animation.
Okay, sir.
So group 7, you can share your screen.
This is group 7. Hello, can you all see my screen?
Yes, sir, we can.
Yes.
Okay. Good day, everyone. Our group is group 7. We worked on storyboard title, The Momo Safety Alert.
Hey,
Our lecturer,
why did you also go with Momo Safety Alert? I think all the groups went with Momo Safety Alert. So why?
yes.
Why Momo Safety Alert?
So actually, it's more relatable as compared to the other one.
We are creating awareness to everyone. There's a common fraud in town on Momo.
So that's why you chose that.
Yes. So the aim of this our project was to show how people can stay safe when using Momo, especially when we receive suspicious calls or messages.
All right, that's fine. So let's take a presentation. So you can skip the introductory part and then we take it from there.
And so these are the list of our members in the group.
Yeah, so you can skip that, please.
Fine. Okay, so we created a simple 3-frame story to explain this situation clearly. The first frame, we show a young man receiving a phone call. He looks serious and slightly concerned because the call is about a supposed wrong transaction. I'll show that later after my introduction. This represents a common scam method used by fraudsters in Ghana. In frame 2, we zoom in on our phone. The message on the screen is asking the user to enter a mobile money PIN to approve a transaction. At this point, the character does not enter the PIN. Instead, he recognizes that something is wrong and avoids taking action. The frame is very important because it shows awareness and decision-making. In frame 3, we show the same person at a shop completing a normal mobile money transaction. He looks relaxed and confident, which indicates that he has avoided the scam and is now carrying out a safe and legitimate payment. So we have 2 projects. This is the first one I just introduced. The first version, this is a real-world storyboard. We took actual photos using our phone camera in a local shop and outdoor setting. This helped us capture a realistic Ghanaian environment, including details like mobile money signage and everyday surroundings. This is a market space.
Okay, so these are real world capturing for the storyboard.
Exactly, yes.
Okay, so who is in the photo? How did you seek the person's consent?
He's part of our group. He's a group member.
Okay, he's part of the group. Okay, that's fine. That's okay.
This is a raw image with our phone. We took it with our phone. at a mobile
Okay.
money vendor. So our second version, which is this one, is the AI generated storyboard. We used an AI generation tool to recreate the same scene from describing them with prompts. This allowed us to produce images quickly without physically going to the location again. When we compare the two versions, we notice some key differences. One advantage of
Sorry,
using
please, which AI tool did you use?
Higgsfield.ai. Hello,
Xfield.
sir. Yeah,
Yes, Abbas.
we
Is it
use
Abbas speaking?
Higgsfield.
Yeah, that's Abbas.
You use what?
Higgsfield.ai.
Okay, Xfield.ai. Okay, that's fine. So the presenter doesn't know the AI too.
You see, it was a group something. So
Yes, oh,
Abbas,
that's fine. I understand. I understand. You can proceed.
fine.
All right.
So this is the second version of it. So one advantage of using AI is the speed and the convenience. We were able to generate images almost instantly just by typing descriptions as our prompt. This makes AI very useful, especially when time or resources are limited. However, one limitation of AI is that the images are not always perfect. Some of them may look slightly unrealistic, and in some cases, they can be small distortions or glitches. Also, AI sometimes struggles to fully capture the local Ghanaian settings as accurate real photos. So on the other hand, the real world image appear more natural and authentic. They clearly show the environment and make the story easier to understand. Because of this, we believe the real world storyboard communicates more message effectively, even though it looks more effort to create. It takes, you need to have put in more energy to create. So in conclusion, this project helped us understand how storyboarding works and how AI can support the creative process. While AI is fast and helpful, real-life images still provide a stronger sense of realism and clarity. These are key takeaways. That is what I just brushed through. So in the end, the raw photos made the story clearer and easier to understand. Thank you.
Thank you. So I still want a summary of your conclusion. What would you advise? A bit of AI, a bit of real world,
Yes,
or
sir.
what? Yes. What would you advise us to do?
Yeah, a bit of AI and a bit of real world for better production.
Yes,
Okay.
but
So why?
the
Yeah. Why?
real world looks
As in-
more natural and realistic. So we'll just use the AI as a guide, and then the real world will give us a better visual.
Okay. So in which term does the AI become a guide? How do we use the AI as a guide?
okay, let's say for the basics, let's say you have the idea, but where
Yeah.
to start from is the issue. But then
Okay.
in order to help visualize it, you can use AI by just typing a few lines to maybe give you a clearer picture of what you are trying to bring out or produce.
Okay. Okay. So AI can always help you with a story, right? So the
Yes,
AI can help you with a story. Then probably you can go with the visualization using real world photos, or you can always synthesize AI photos and then it gives you the concept. Okay, that's okay. Then I think those are my questions. Please, do you have any other questions for them? I don't know why today they are not. It looks like this badge you've bribed your colleagues not to ask you questions.
Everything is well explained.
All right, that is okay. So that was a good presentation as well from Abbas and then his group. Okay. Yeah. So if there are no further questions for them, I think I can let them go off. So for group 5, I didn't get which AI tool did you use? Group 5. Group 5.
Please, we use chat
That was
GPT.
Mustafa.
We use chat GPT.
Okay, so you use ChatGPT. Okay.
Yes.
All right. All right. So I hope the concept of storyboarding is clear. The class. All right. So when we say storyboarding, it's just connecting, planning, and visualizing your communication into production. Okay. So a storyboard is just a visual planning tool showing a story shot by shot before you produce it. That is storyboard. Okay, so you show your story. So the story on a board. Okay, normally you realize that when we watch these movies sometimes, especially people who are criminals or even most of you are working in the security, you profile people on boards. Okay, you profile people on board, and sometimes you see it in movies where they put the person photo somewhere, they clip it, the next agenda. So that's storyboarding. So having your stories on a board, okay. So it helps you to visualize a concept before you go into what production. So storyboarding actually comes with frames, okay, and we know what frames are, and you put those frames together to actually create what your story. So most of the time, you can visualize your story. Either you sometimes people even use artistic drawing, where you can just draw, okay, each frame as an art, okay, or you can use real world photography. Okay, you create your frames. So each shot by shot. Then you have a story. So for each frame, there is a story. Okay, there's a story behind each frame. So you realize that in production, we put all the frames together, the shot by shots together, and then we create what the full video, or we have a full production, and sometimes it goes with audio. Please, am I audible?
Yes, please, you
Am I
are.
audible?
Yes, you are, please.
Okay. So storyboard always answers the question, what is happening? Okay, what happens? So you want to create a Momo story. You want to create a storyboard for this Momo fraud. So number one, what is happening? What is happening is that we want to eliminate Momo fraud, or we are trying to create awareness about Momo fraud. Okay, when and how do we make make the story appear? So that is when you realize that some people decided to go to the market, some people decided to go to the mall, and then someone received a Momo alert. Some other person can go about this whole story in a different way. Okay, but this is how they have tried to bridge the idea they have with production. Okay, so they have each key frame. So they have their frames, photo of the person receiving a call. The next frame is receiving an alert, a fraudulent alert. And the next frame is to what? How you be able to discard such alerts. Okay, so storyboards are always used in producing films, animation, games, and advertising, learning industry. So always picture it that if you want to create a story, you have to put the pieces together. So each piece become what? Your frame or your shot. So you know that the first frame is frame number one in sequence. You move to frame number two, frame number three. So when we put frame one, two, three together, then we produce what? Our story. So storyboarding is important because it helps us to what? Visualize our ideas. To realize that I gave them a verbal idea, okay, a structured verbal idea, and then they were able to visualize it, each of the verbal idea. So that is the purpose of storyboard. So they are transforming the abstract concept into what? A clear visual what? Story or a sequence. Okay. Number two, it saves you time and cost. Assuming they just jump into production without actually having a storyline, having a storyboard that, okay, this is the first frame, the person is making a call, the next frame, you receive a memo. I realize that the production will be scanty. So you keep going back and forth. Okay, we didn't do this well, let's reanalyze it this way. But when you have a storyboard, the storyboard serves as a plan so that you're able to what? Identify, preempt issues and to avoid costly production. So when you have a plan, you're able to preempt issues that will come up. Then you're able to avoid what? Those issues. Okay, so that's the purpose of story. So it helps you save time and cost because it gives you an idea of what you want to do. Then it also enhances team communication. You know, you can't always produce alone unless you are using AI. But when you want to go into real world production, you have a team. So the storyboarding always what improves collaboration. So that you know that these people are handling the first frame, these people are handling the story, these people are handling the shots, the frame, these people are handling the audio. So it aligns your project what vision. Okay. So in movie production, storyboards actually help directors and crews to visualize their shots. It visualize their shots. They look for camera angle because they have a story. They have the board. They know that okay, this is what we have preempted. This is what we visualize. So we are able to know from which camera angle do we take the video from, do we shoot from, which scene which scene? So you realize that this time we're looking at there was mall or a market scene. Okay, that's the scene. So we've created that visual scene that we want to act within what a marketplace or within what a mall, based on the content of the story. Okay, so that is why I realize that some movies are acted within a village setting. Some movies are acted within a city. Some movies also go hybrid. Okay, they transit. So based on the storyline, you can decide to transition within an urban setting, or probably go into what the village was setting based on your story. So if you don't have the story, you realize that you can't preempt your scenes, where your scenes will be what captured and where your scenes will be what acted. Okay. So storyboards also help in video game design as well. So anytime you are thinking of storyboard, number one, you think of what? Your storyline. Number one, you need to what? Be able to have a clear concept of your story. So AIs can also always help you when you analyze what you expect. AI can help you have stories. Okay. And today when you go on YouTube, you realize that people are generating AI videos. So they come up with a story. AI generates a story for them. They actually go with another AI tool that will generate what? A video. Then they have the audio, they blend it together, then they post these stories online. So realize that they fully automate or fully generate what AI stories. Okay, so they started with storyboarding. The AI talks about the description of the story. Then they now go into what? Adding each frame. Okay. Then they produce the video. So storyboarding also helps you to have a vivid description and vivid clarity of actions and then about what? Your story. Please, is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Please, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. So for storyboards, we have different type of storyboard. We can have traditional, we have digital. Okay, so traditional is normally handwritten. Okay, so you can always sketch ideas on paper. There are also storyboards. Okay, you can sketch or you go digital. Digital is the use of software tools. An example is either we can use these AI tools or we have storyboard.io. Okay, it's also one of the tools that can vividly help. You can use Gemini, ChatGPT, and the rest of the tools that our colleagues have mentioned. Okay, and some Flow AI was actually used by one of I think Group One, and Expo was used by Group Seven. So those are some notable AI tools that you can use for digital what, storyboarding. So basically, that is the definition process of what a storyboard is, what storyboarding does, and our colleagues have vividly explained the what storyboarding is. They've captured key frames and frames to be able to visualize the Momo fraud concept. Okay, so you can actually, these are ideas that can even be sold. I think MTN Ghana, I think most of us are on YouTube and TikTok. We can put these frames together, create an awareness, post on our social accounts to create this awareness. Okay, so I think these things go a long way to educate a lot of people. So I think we can take it from here. Most of us that have accounts, you can put this into production and then you can put it out there. And you can even tag most of these organizations. And you may never know. They can at any time to give you a contract if you're able to present a very beautiful video or an idea. Okay, so I think this really educate people about Momo fraud. Yeah, the whole concept. And I think a lot of the groups have done a good justice to this. So thank you very much for your presentation. So I think we have group 6 to continue from last week's presentation. Group 6. Yes, group 6.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Hey, good evening. Yes, good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon.
Yeah.
Okay, this is
It's good
Rogers.
morning.
Oh, it means the good afternoon is even wrong.
Ah, good
So
morning, rather.
everything the guy has said
Ah,
is wrong. Okay. So we hope your
The
presentation
good is
will also not
correct.
follow this format.
The
I
good
hope
is
so.
correct.
We hope so. So this is Rogers. I'm representing Group 6. Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you to my brother.
So our course is Foundations of Multimedia. Now our lecturer is Mr. Julius Xenyo, and our group is Group 6. So our topic is the Living Object Challenge. So our project focus on transforming simple inanimate objects. So we have taken a basketball into a living character using basic animation principles. So we created a video using animation. We created an animation video using Canva. So we combine motion, page transitions or scene transitions, and then visual effects to simulate life and energy. So our objective, what we want to do in this presentation, or we want to present today, you apply fundamental animation principles. We'll create a smooth and engaging animation video. And we also loop the video using AI. So we'll use the video which we have created. We'll use it to prompt AI to loop it for us, probably like 3 times. So we also demonstrate creativity using simple tools like Canva and others. Then we will compare manual animation techniques with AI-based animation.
Please mention the others. Canva and which others?
Oh, it's only Canva. It's only Canva. Then we also use the runaway AI for the creation of the GIF.
Runaway AI.
Yeah. For the
Okay.
looping of the AI video, which gave us a GIF.
Is it runway AI or runaway?
Runway.
I don't know whether I'm getting it wrong. Is it
It's
runway or
runway.
runaway? Runway.
It's
So
Runway.
it's not
runway.
runaway. Okay. All
Okay.
right.
It's the good morning, good
Group
afternoon.
6. You are doing well.
Yeah, group 6. So our tools, we use Canva, Canva web application for the whole video production. So we also use a basketball as the object. Then we use the runway AI to create the video, the loop of the video. So we divided the animation into 3 scenes or pages. And then we applied different animation to the basketball on each page. And then we use the page transition to create smooth continuity. So whenever I'm saying page, I also mean scene. So with the scene 1 or page 1, the scene 1 we use the basketball rises slightly. So the scene 1 is all about the anticipation. So in that case, we can see that the basketball will rise a bit up, which simulates anticipation. So the upward motion suggests that the ball is about to move dynamically. So we move the ball from one position to another. So that is another scene. So with the scene 2, we use the rotation animation. So we let the ball to rotate a bit on its axis before moving back to its original position. Then with the last one, we use an effect called the wiggle effect. Somebody also can say follow through animation. So it's like when the ball wants to rest, it wiggles a little bit to show that it's about to rest. And then on each page, we have take into account some animation properties. Transition properties. We transition the position from the left to the right. Then when the position is transitioning, we also transition the size. And then with that one, the third transition that we use is the opacity or transparency. So we also make the ball start from fully transparent to almost to a lower transparent object. So we combine this transition to create the scene from one page to
Okay,
another.
so do you have the animation? If you have the animation, I think we better off understand you if you are explaining alongside the animation.
Okay, these are the other. We'll show you at the end of the presentation. So with the animation principle demonstrated, we demonstrated anticipation. We also demonstrate the action and movement or the rotation. Then we also demonstrated the follow through or wiggle effect. Those are the 3 animation principles. Aside that, we also use the timing, spacing, and transitions. Transition like the position, the size, and the opacity. And then we'll talk about the AI enhanced version. So we use the runway AI to create a loop of the whole video. So when the video has finished playing, then the AI has made it that it will play continuously, kind of like a Jeep. So before we play the video, we'll look at the comparison, the manual versus AI. So with the control, we know that we've identified that the manual animation, we have full control over it, unlike the AI version, which is kind of semi-automated. And then when we are talking about the motion style, with the manual, with this step-based or scene-based, it's like pages. page or from one scene to another. But the AI make it continuous in a continuous loop. And then the manual feels more realistic than the AI. The AI, after we have gotten our AI results, we've seen that it looks a little bit rough. And then the manual is very highly flexible. We can still edit it and add other things anytime. But with the AI, we have seen that it is the final output. Okay, so this is the video. Let me pause it. Okay, so I'm coming, please. Ah. Okay, so this is the now I'll play it. When I play it, you can see that the ball will rise a bit, then it will transition from one position to another. As it is transitioning, it will transition also the size with the opacity. So when it reaches to the top right, then it will rotate a bit before moving back to the original position. So when it comes to rest, then it will wiggle. So let's look at it. So that is basically it. And then here is the AI version. So the AI version just a GIF, continuous, it's just a loop, and it's looping all over again. All right, so with our conclusion, the insights and the things that we have learned. So when we compare both versions, we have seen that manual animation gives it creates room for creativity and control. And it also, the looping produces the AI, I don't know, I think we have used a free version, so it makes the whole video very rough. We were expecting like it could make it a bit smoother than ours, but instead it becomes more rough. I don't know whether it's because it has exported it as a GIF for us. I don't know. And then the AI style is faster and less precise also. Okay, so that is the end of our presentation. Any question? Thank you for your attention.
All right, that was a good presentation. In fact, your videos, when I was watching your videos, it's a bit skeptical, and the realism, I'm finding it difficult to get the anticipation, each concept of animations, but I think it's fine for group 6. I was expecting a very good work since, you took longer, but it's okay, right? It's on the average. Please, do you have any questions for them? Do you have any questions for them? Ima, Caleb, David,
Yes,
do you
sir.
have any questions for them?
I have a question, sir.
Of course. Yeah, thank you. Yes, wax, Ima.
Okay, so please, I wanted to know from the presentation, I wanted to know the difference between the manual animation they did and then the AI one, because they look similar from the look.
Yeah.
I don't really see the difference. So if you could explain to us the difference between the AI generated one and then the manual one.
So we in our presentation we've said that we haven't used the animation that we use is not different from the one which we prompt the AI with. We just tell the AI to loop what we have done for us.
Oh, okay. But then, but then that would I don't know how that would defeat the purpose of the presentation, or because I thought we were
Or
presenting to.
it's all about creativity. It's the way we decided to do it. I think the other groups they also have the same animation principle, just that they will compare it what the AI has given to them, and then what themselves they have done. It is the same thing, but just that it's like the AI has done the same thing, and then they also do the same thing, and then they will compare. But with ours, we just take what we have done and tell the AI to do it.
But
Okay. Okay, Ima, yes, your following question. Yeah, Ima, you can follow up the question.
I don't even know what to say as a follow-up because it's like
Yeah. I mean, it's almost afternoon, so the weather is getting too hot. Group 6, you've done well. Okay, that's okay. You've done well. Yes. Is there any other question again? Any other question for them? All right. So thank you for your presentation. And so, if there are no further questions, then we can still go back to storyboarding. If you need any clarity or any addition or any tool that you've used that you think you can share with the class, you can always share.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So I would advise the class to take it up from storyboarding animation. I think you can try to create or we can create a multimedia page where we look at some persistent issue within the Ghanaian community in terms of especially cyber security, cyber fraud, data protection, where we can try to create stories, create a storyboard, come up with production for such issues. And I think we can create it as a class. Then eventually we can pick it up from there. So I think the class can discuss these ideas, and as a class, you can create some channels. And I'm just bringing an idea on board. So, so David, we can look across to see what we can create out of our multimedia course. Okay, so it's open and preview to the classes approval. Okay, I think that's clear.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because looking at the ideas you brought from the Mumu fraud storyboarding, I think we can look at some issues around, and then we try to create stories in terms of these issues to create awareness. And it can always start from somewhere. Okay, so whatever the decision will be, David can always communicate. Okay, so thank you very much for today's class. If you have any questions for me, I'm available. You can ask questions. And if there are no further
Hello,
questions
sir.
or clarity, yes.
Yeah, on LMS, it seems the storyboarding boarding is not there.
Yes. I'm yet to upload it. So I'll kindly upload the lecture material for storyboarding, and then I'll put it there. And then as well, please submit all the groups, your assignments on the LMS. Okay. So I think for animation, I've created it, the assignment portal, so you can please upload your materials. And then for storyboarding, too, I've created it. I just have not uploaded the lecture material as well. So please, you have the lecture material uploaded by the close of day. Thank you very much. So I think next week we'll talk about video, and wrapping up on the semester project work. Yes, David, I hope the class is on course with the semester project work.
Yes, please, we are on
Yeah,
it.
David.
Yeah, please, I said we are on it.
Yes. Okay, so I think that will be next 2 weeks when we meet face to face. So please prepare so that next 2 weeks you can come up and then wrap up. So that please, because I'm not giving you midterm, that is what I'm going to score as your midterm, along with the good presentations that we've done. So please prepare very well, do a very good work. So next week we'll meet online, talk about video, Then next 2 weeks, we'll conclude on the semester. Next 2 weeks when we meet for face to face. So thank you very much for your contribution. To all those who present, you did very well, and more grace to your elbow. And I hope I will pick a lot of things from this course as well, not just the theoretical aspect, but the practical aspect. I hope we are all learning something that will add up to knowledge. So thank you so much. So if there is no further question and clarity, I'll knock off for the day, and have the best of your weekend.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Ojigu siada. Yes,
Hey, Baba.
Hey, Setrafia, I was Setrafia in class today.
Oh, we go though.
Yes, sir, he was.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Okay, hold on. Register it.